We know each other. He's a friend from work.
Hell yes, I get to ride the dragon.
The hell's wrong with you people?
I know Kung Fu.
Tank, you want to switch? You want to switch?
No, I'm good. I got it.
Stay down!
I could do this all day.
If you had to transform into one mythical creature and then get married to a different mythical creature.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
Maximum effort.
How about a magic trick?
HR.
Not an
Call
animal.
HR. Is it HR?
Somebody call HR down here. That man is playing Galaga.
Why is it not showing the zoom? So they can hear us, they just can't see us. 'Cause fuck. I'm gonna do that first. Damn it, I forget that every fucking time. Alright, okay, so they see the zoom, they just don't see you guys. Why do they not see you guys? What on? No, like, they just don't see. What the hell, dude? It's gotta be my computer.
We know each other.
Oh, what the hell, dude? It's not. That's, yeah, exactly. But what's weird? Watch, if I do this in a second, you'll see the bottom of the Zoom call. They just can't see you guys. Yeah, they just can't see you guys. That doesn't make any sense. All right, okay, fine. Let's. What? Window capture. Man, y'all are cute. I don't know. Probably not. Which Zoom's working. It's just fucking hell. Alright, plan B. Hang on, stand by. Okay, there. That'll work for today. Dude. I'm capturing my monitor and not the Zoom. Bitch, look. They can. Why is this shit? Look, they can see you. All right. All right. We're just gonna stick with that so that this is that much less I have to cut out and post for the. I mean. Okay. I mean, I see that the audio's working. I see the bar moving in the streaming software. Well, I say that. Fuck. How about, okay.
So assuring.
There, okay. Alright, I think I got it. Alright,
I
so,
can hear us.
Okay.
My kid farted.
now it should work.
Okay, I can hear everybody now.
Fucking
Okay, cool.
hell, dude. I don't
Welcome
know.
to the Nerds from Work, your weekly escape into the world of geeks, nerds, and IT support.
Dumpster fires,
Eventually-
dude. Dumpster fire.
Eventually, we'll get there. Hey guys, it's quarantine month, and you know what that means? Everyone's working from home. We're all a little rusty, and when you work in IT, it's just, rust happens.
Hopefully your new employers weren't watching this.
Bruh.
Like, man, this guy's gonna be a fucking gym, and then they're like, oh, never mind. Terminate that contract?
He put it on his
I
resume.
watching this. We dare you to try to Zoom bomb us, please.
Dude, the fuck, man.
Hey, Brandon's already cracked his. I'm super thirsty. Tank needs one.
Dude.
I didn't have anything to drink with dinner.
I had a drink, but I just finished it all. It's all good.
He just has a cup. It's a prop.
Orange cup. So, guys, we all have stuff we've been doing because
Really?
we've all spent 24/7 in our houses with our families. So I know that we've all found exterior hobbies or internalized, find a room, shut the door, or find a corner of your apartment. What have you guys been up to in the 24 hours since the last time we saw each other? Or the 24 hours, 7 days a week last time? This is 24 hours, dude.
Jason's losing
I'm
it.
so
Kidding me,
confused.
Jason's completely, he's just totally
I'm
losing
gone.
it.
Well, who are you guys? You guys are my wife and kids. Who the fuck are you?
Right.
Who the fuck are
dude.
you? I
It's-
censor myself because I've been around children. Tank, what have you been up to, dude?
Yeah, so like Brandon mentioned, I started a new job yesterday, so that's been fun.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I've been reading 1,000 Lee book series. I think I talked about it a couple weeks ago. I read book 2 on Saturday.
Now, is this a manga?
No, it's like a Huawei novel, like those like
Oh,
Asian inspired,
Wuxia? Like,
Oh,
yeah,
old school
wuxia.
You did talk about that last show, I think.
Yeah. So I read because I think I had finished book 1 and I had bought book 2, but I hadn't started it yet because when I start a book, I'd kind of literally stop everything. It's really bad.
Yeah.
And I read book 2 thinking that book 3 wasn't out yet because when I finished book 1, it wasn't. But I waited a few weeks. So when I finished book 2, I was like, cool, and it threw me right to the like Amazon Kindle store for book 3. I was like, oh shit, 3's out. Oh, this is not good. So I started reading 3, and but I literally I read it for like 2 or 3 hours or whatever, and then I was like, okay, and I haven't touched it because again, I'll like forsake
just
my
started a new job and you don't want to
kids.
get fired?
Yeah, there's that. So,
It's a slippery slope.
yeah, dude, it's so bad.
Slippery.
But yeah, so I've been doodling a little bit on my iPad. I've been reading. I mean, I worked from home before all of this, so like it really hasn't changed. I mean, I'm not getting to go to Kung Fu, which kind of sucks, but otherwise it's been about the same. I just practice on my kids more now.
Dude, I've been practicing martial arts on my 9-month-old.
Yep.
So, Brandon, what have you been up to, dude?
Jack shit.
I know that's a lie.
I don't actually remember the last time we had a show, so I don't remember what I said either. But, I started Phantasy Star Online 2. It's free to download on the Xbox One, and it's fucking dope. It's like all the good parts of Monster Hunter, and none of the bad parts, where it's literally too hard to play single player on Monster Hunter. Like, you can play single player in Phantasy Star. My friend out here has it too, so we've been playing that together. This week we're gonna start start back our D&D game on Roll20.
That's what we've been doing.
I figured out my password to get into my account, so that took a while. I taught myself how to code.
I've been doing that too, actually.
Yeah, it's weird. Well, I guess it's not weird. It's probably more common now. It's called Grasshopper.
They're teaching kids that now.
Yeah, they should.
Like, that is like a big thing, a big push for children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, kids for sure should learn how to code, because it's the future. Even design jobs now are going a lot towards Grasshopper, like design language.
Right.
So I've been using that for different design stuff.
Even to that point, even what I do in IT, there's a whole facet of what I do in IT where you store infrastructure as lines of code. So knowing how to code, you can literally build out entire networks.
Which usually lines are usually things like C++ or Python, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But how Grasshopper works is a little different, which is gonna be super nerdy. But it's like little modules, and then you just like connect lines of stuff. So you can drag and drop, like, multiply these numbers, and then just put an input of numbers, and then it spits out your results.
Nice.
But you can do that. It's used mostly in 3D modeling. So you can say, like, here's a line, rotate it and make it a solid, and then do this, and you just are like putting all these like components together. It's a lot of fun. I kind of want to try to use it to make dice. I think that'd be sick, but that's like way above my like knowledge level currently. So I'm gonna try that.
The scale of nothing to dice, where is your knowledge level?
Probably a
Right
quarter of
above
the way
nothing.
there. I can get a like already created Grasshopper script and figure out like where the problems are and like understand what's happening. But just like all coding, it's like, where do you start?
Yeah.
Like that beginning part is like the hardest part. Is like, I have no clue how to start to do this.
First step's the hardest. Yeah.
Right, but like, I'm at the point where I understand other people's stuff, and
So
if they're like,
coding,
"Oh, I have an issue," I can like go through it with them and try to figure it out and find the problem.
Coding is almost like learning a foreign language.
Mhm.
Like
literally.
Yeah,
Like
that's what it sounds
Spanish.
like to me.
Yeah, Spanish. I know certain words in Spanish, but if I wanted to initiate a conversation and like hold a conversation, that's kind of hard, right? But I can like pick up when people say certain things. I'm like, okay, they said bathroom and they pointed that way, so I know the bathroom's over there.
That's what I was gonna say. Like,
But saying like fluent sentences and stuff, I can't.
When we went to Europe, I put together enough French where it was like in France, I knew what people were saying. I just couldn't like start the sentence.
Yeah.
And in Arabic, it's just like, I know Arabic, but like to initiate conversations, it's like, but if they're saying it, it's like, okay, no, I know what they're saying. It's just,
Yeah, so it's very similar. So I actually think it's really cool that they're teaching kids young, like they do with like foreign languages and stuff. That's actually super tight. We also watched Princess Mononoke.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I bought it like a year ago and we never watched it.
I've never seen a Studio Ghibli film. I really need to.
Princess Mononoke is cool. It's not a kids movie though, so don't let kids watch
No.
it. Like the first time you see the princess, she's like sucking blood out of a wound of a dire wolf and like spitting it out because it's poison.
That's awesome.
It just has like blood all over her face, and you're like, okay, sick.
All right.
All right.
That's awesome.
what about you, Rue?
Oh, I've been having a blast. Love having the kids and myself in the same space all this time. Interesting thing is all the random weird ass shit you learn, like, and their digital learning. Turns out, learned about the white-tailed deer. I think it was the white-tailed deer. Apparently, when the fawns, the little baby fawns, are left alone while mommy goes off to eat, like to get some alone time, they don't poop or piss at all till she shows up. Because if
Same.
they do that, they might give away their location through to a
That's
predator.
why Bambi had so many problems because she held that poop in.
Hold that all in.
Long.
Till mommy comes
He
back.
had like a bunch of problems.
Now, here's the-
Internal.
when mommy comes back,
Well, his mommy died.
Yeah.
So.
when mommy comes back, mommy takes him.
Tank, did you
And
say
they can
Bambi
go.
was a her?
They can go number 1 and number 2.
Oh. I always got that.
And
wrong.
mommy
I thought
eats it up.
Bambi was a girl.
Yeah.
A boy.
Are you even listening, Jason?
Nope.
Yeah.
Totally.
What did I say?
You totally lost me. I'm sorry. I zoned so
Something else.
hard.
I'm just still thinking about Bambi just holding the poop in.
I'm talking. He's not even listening.
I zoned out so hard.
I listened. Yeah, it's disgusting.
That's disgusting.
True poo-poo platter, some might say.
Like, mommy has to eat it all up when they finally go.
It's disgusting.
My first thought when I heard this was, where's daddy? Because I think he's got the best part of the deal. Like,
He out
you
supporting
do
the
that.
family.
I'll be over here.
So basically, Human Centipede is actually about a deer family.
Thank you.
Oh, gross.
Found out the hard way, like, teaching the kids. But anyway, that's part of what I've been.
Realistically, you could eat fecal matter twice before all of the nutrients are gone.
Maybe.
Really?
Unless you die the first time.
Yeah.
You could eat shit
Liars.
twice and drink.
And you
piss.
know this how? Anyone taught you? I mean, are
I
you
mean,
trying to tell
sometimes
us
you talk shit.
Dude.
You know what I mean?
Marines are fucking crazy. Okay. Just let's just.
So, have you done anything
also been
nerdy
playing
except
video
that doesn't include fecal matter?
I've been playing video games a lot. I finally got into NBA 2K, so that's been the thing for me.
I bought Pokemon Shield. I forgot about that too. I'm almost. I beat the 8th gym leader. I'm about to move on from there.
Yeah, you're
Sorry.
way further than me.
You haven't
I
beat
bought
it?
like when it came out.
I know.
I get caught up doing other shit. I always forget to play.
Yeah. My oldest is like incessant on. Every time I come upstairs, he's like, I made him his own profile on the Switch so he could have his own game, and he'll still be like, "Come on!" Like he would almost rather watch me play, and I'll help walk him through his stuff, but he just likes watching me.
Was your oldest? Your
Generation is
oldest
all
son?
about watching. Like, I don't get this. Like, my kids will watch
Well-
funny, play everything for. I mean, they pulled up something from 2 years ago. I said, that's 2 years ago. They said, we haven't seen it. I'm like, how much content does this stupid YouTube channel produce?
Oh, dude, you're not
Yeah,
making.
our YouTube channel is pretty fucking stupid. We got a lot of content on there.
We got like
This
4
is
years.
amazing, the amount of content they've got. Like, my kids watch it every day and haven't got through it. That's a lot. Like,
Dude, Casey Neistat literally released a vlog, a like 12 to 30 minute vlog every single day for like
For
3
years.
years.
Yeah, for years. His stuff is really good.
Yeah, his stuff is wicked good. Yeah, and not just like cell phone cam either. Like
Yeah, no,
like
he
like
edited.
short films every single day. It's just
Yeah.
crazy. That dude's super
yeah, I
cool.
suppose this is
Also
probably
like a
just
filmmaker,
recording their
though.
voices.
Yeah.
All they're doing is recording their voices over video game footage, so I guess it's a lot easier for them to just churn out a lot of.
Yeah, Casey Neistat stuff was like
Dude.
legit.
It's funny
But-
you guys said this, and I
Dude's a
still
pioneer.
haven't seen Casey Neistat stuff last time.
You need
know,
to.
I
His
think it
stuff's
takes
cool.
like five attempts. You guys got to tell me something 5 times or so before I finally go see it. Now I can't stop waiting for the next episode of My Hero Academia. And it's like, you
That
guys,
wasn't even 5 times. We were telling you to watch anime for like
Fuck,
2 years.
3 years? Yeah, 2 years.
Dude, he'll watch Casey Neistat like
in
10
that
years
case,
from now.
Casey has a long way to go then.
Yeah,
Casey
for sure.
Neistat eventually.
We're talking way past coronavirus.
yeah.
And then after Casey Neistat, he'll be like, "Man, I really wish I knew how to handle a camera." We'll be like, "Oh, watch Peter McKinnon." He'll be like, "Oh."
Yep.
And then it's like 7 to 10 years later, he'll be like, "Man, have you guys seen this Peter McKinnon guy?
Yeah,
He's
right.
Great. He's great."
Then we'll be watching YouTube through our glasses or something.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? 4 years from now, though, I guess he'll be on Critical Role.
Yeah,
So.
That would be.
yeah.
Dude, Marquise,
I'll never
I
watch
watched.
anime. I
That's-
love that My Hero Academia.
That'd be so crazy though. 2025 I come. You guys ever heard about Critical Role? Like,
Yeah.
they're
Like,
really good.
realistically though, they announced the like writers or whatever for
Mm.
Critical Role just recently, like a week or 2 ago. They came out with a new announcement of like who's working like currently on the show, and the lineup is fucking nuts. It has like writers of Westworld on it. It has like crazy people
Really?
from like
For their other shows, you mean?
no for the TV show. The
Oh,
animated-
for their animated special. Yeah.
Coming
Oh
out
yeah,
like
no, they have some
on-
huge names on the animated special. I'm
Yeah,
I'm
and
fucking
you're just like-
pumped.
oh shit, they're really doing this.
There's a guy he does Fat Man on Batman with Kevin Smith. It's the black guy from his
Yeah.
show. He's one of the producers, and I love his stuff. I was like when I
They
saw
have, like,
him,
They have like 15 writers or something
yeah,
on.
it's crazy. And like
Yeah.
all the players came in and like
Well,
talked to him.
What'll happen?
So
Most,
cool.
more than likely, will be like each writer will do one episode. So like the
Well,
Westworld
yeah.
guy will do one,
Yeah.
one.
They did like a Star Wars esque thing where they all got together in one room
Yeah.
to talk through the whole arc. Though.
Yeah.
So like they'll have writers like each person will do one or something, but like they all also contributed to the overall
Story, yeah.
like series.
Dude, yeah, I cannot wait to see. And honestly, like, I'm still, now that I'm not in the car anymore, I haven't been watching campaign 1, but I am past the arc that they're animating, and but just the undertaking of this is fascinating to me, and because I love seeing behind the scene videos on like how movies are made and stuff, and so they're doing a lot of that kind of footage as well for their like Kickstarter, contributors or whatever, backers.
How much money did you back them, Tank?
I should have. I didn't. I'm a terrible. I'm a fake fan, but
Dang, I ain't having money either.
yeah,
There are people who like gave like $20,000 and more.
dude, I don't want because one of the tiers like they'd fly you out to California to do stuff. I was like, yo, that's
It was, like,
the shit I should have
25,000
done.
plus or something like
Yeah.
that.
So
Totally.
I'm just gonna take that as a segue. People throwing wads of money at things that started as like somebody just doing something they enjoy.
Yeah.
So what I've been doing, I've been reading a lot of books. Jack Carr, quickly becoming one of my favorite authors. He's not, but I just like his stuff. Chris Pratt actually just read his first book, and then Chris Pratt reached out to him and now is producing a show for Jack
Yo,
Carr
that's
based off
dope.
of the books he wrote. And this guy has only written 2 books. His third book comes out next week,
Wow.
and he's already got.
What is he write about? Like, what's his genre?
So it's
Action,
political
comedy?
thriller,
Huh?
kind of like Jack Ryan. It's a political thriller,
Oh.
but Chris Pratt wants to do it, and he's producing it.
That's super
So
cool.
Chris Pratt's putting up his own money to do a show, like a series based off of the book. So I'm like, that's pretty cool for a military guy to get out of the military and say, I want to write a book. And then one of the biggest names in Hollywood,
Yeah.
well, to us at least, because we all love Star-Lord.
Speaking
Says,
of
hey,
Chris
I
Pratt,
wanna
has
do
everyone
a-
seen Onward?
What's up?
Yeah.
You know,
It was pretty good.
Fucking great. I love Onward.
What's that?
Onward.
Oh, dude, Onward was
So
I-
good.
so
Chris Pratt-
my-
Disney D&D.
what is that?
yeah. So my problem with
We'll
it,
watch it
it's
in like 3 years. Don't worry.
it's Chris Pratt and Tom Holland.
Yeah.
Voiced the two
Star-Lord
main
and
characters.
Spider-Man.
It's a
Um,
Pixar Disney movie.
I will say my problem with the movie, it was the problem I said I thought I was gonna have with it at the beginning. The world they build in this movie is fucking incredible. I love the spin on why magic isn't around anymore and all that kind of stuff. I didn't care for the story as much. To me, the story is what I was like. This is kind of
I
them-
loved the
See,
story.
I
Them
love
dr-
the story.
them.
Yes.
I guess I didn't like the gimmick of them dragging half their dad around. That was
I thought that was a necessary, like, funny moment for younger people who don't want to be like, oh, it's actually just sad as crap because they're dead.
Yeah. It's
Dead.
super.
And like
But-
every conversation of the brothers were just like the saddest thing ever.
But the,
There had to be
the
someone-
father, like the half a father, right?
that crap made it sad too half the time.
yeah.
Yeah. But like the dancing part, that was like a huge thing. Like,
Oh
just
yeah.
enjoy the moment. Like, it
Yeah.
doesn't matter really what's going on. Just like stop and enjoy the moment and remember where you are. Like the half a body, right? Like, it actually brought a lot to the story when you look at it. But that I've been writing. I sent copies out to you guys. I sent copies out to a few other people, and I've gotten positive responses.
Really? Hang in there. I'm coming.
That's funny.
Well, I'm saying it that way because like I had a plan. I was like, oh, I'll shoot this out, and then they were like, no. So I can't just shoot stuff out because I've got someone who wants to publish it and they can't. So I can't just release stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay. So I'm just stuck writing, but yeah, so they want me to send stuff out like, oh, you know, tidbit, this will be cool, like leak stuff, but don't release anything.
Chapters.
So, yeah, that was interesting conversation I had today. But other than that, like my whole family's been reading, and I'm like, I know that we run a nerd podcast, but I'm super proud to say, like, other than my kids watching Guardians of the Galaxy tonight, we haven't turned on the TV for like days. Like our TV just stays off, and we're home 24/7.
Yeah, that's cool.
The kids have gotten back outside. Everyone is reading through like tons of books. Amazon is like delivering books to our house like every week now.
Who reads physical books?
We just like physical books, man.
They're annoying.
There is something about a book.
Yeah, turning the page. I bought Jack Carr's book on Kindle and the physical copy, and on Kindle it's like, okay, like I can just put it down. But when I have a physical copy and it's like you can smell it and turn the pages and feel it, even though it's impractical and you have to have lights and like a setting, it makes me want to read more. Like I found myself in the garage today while it was raining, sitting in a chair by myself. Like that's where I sequester myself. Like garage.
Read? Or just to do
it was
anything?
raining, and I was reading and drinking, and I was like, this is actually not a bad way to sit and read. But you know, charging the iPad, bringing it around. I use that for comics.
Continuous scroll, dude. I can't. I love it. It's the greatest invention they've added besides dark mode to Kindle. That continuous scroll is incredible. I love it.
Dude, continuous scroll just feels like one big ass website.
Hell yeah, it's incredible, dude. I fucking love it. No, I love it so
One-
much.
the one
hate it,
IT
dude.
guy
Like-
loved
So when I read, I have to set like points for myself. Kind of like when I run. When I run, I'm like, all right, that third stoplight up there, I'm gonna stop. And then I get to the third stoplight, and I'm like, I'll just keep going. When I read, I'm like, okay, 13 pages left. Like, if I just did this, I'd be like, where the fuck am I? Like, where the fuck am I right now?
Dude, my kids are like, Dad, we haven't seen you in 6 hours. I look up, I'm like, oh, it's been 6 hours? Like, I just read, and that continuous scroll just enables me, and I love it.
And I've been watching, like on the computer while I work, Critical Role.
Hey, which campaign?
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you started on 2 back in the day, right?
Oh yeah.
I just never, like, I'll just start and stop.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, I don't really want to watch television shows. I really want to watch shows that I can't watch because the kids are here. I'm like, honey, I really want to watch 13 hours right now.
Yeah.
She's like, no. I'm like,
Yeah.
what about John Wick? I hard.
I
Dude.
watched Inception the other night at like midnight. I turned it on. I was like, I've seen Inception so many times. I'll turn this on and go to sleep. And I just fucking sat up.
The whole thing.
You're like,
See,
my whole life is a fucking lie.
dude, no, I do that with The Matrix. I've watched The Matrix enough times to literally quote the entire movie. And to the point, we were 15 minutes into the movie. My wife was like, why didn't we just turn it off and you can just quote the rest of it for me? I was like, yeah, we can do that. I can do that.
I don't know. I've had like
I'll be Trinity.
hella trouble trying to sleep like since the quarantine. But I have like 7 a.m. meetings most days. So it fucking sucks because I stay up until like 2 or 3, like watching. Like I watched all of Castlevania. That's something else I did.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
Like a new season came out,
Yeah.
and I restarted it because I was like still wide awake. I was like, so I just turned
New
it
show?
on.
No thanks.
Yeah. I don't know.
So I guess the topic for the night, other than us just talking about, you know,
Bullshit.
what we've been doing while we're all stuck, because I'm sure we could keep finding things that we've been doing. Gosh, I hope so. Otherwise, we're all just sleeping all the time.
Or not.
I would say
talk
none of
about-
us are sleeping.
I want to kind of talk about how at first this like quarantine, like stay in place, you know, whatever, it didn't really feel as bad or as impactful as I thought it would become. I don't know about you guys. I thought it would be like, hey, stay at home for a couple weeks, you know, we can still go get groceries, whatever. But one thing that was brought to my attention by my friend, and then I didn't believe him, So then I went online. Travis, the Blazing Defender, brought it to my attention. The comic book industry is actually on hold until further notice.
Really?
Like, no new comics. And that didn't happen during the recession. It didn't happen during 9/11. It didn't happen during World War II. It has not ever stopped. It's been going for almost 100 years, and it stopped.
Why? What are they doing in
'Cause
person?
they can't go to work.
Because
Go
Nobody
to
can print.
where?
They
I think
can't
I
put
said
it
this
together.
last time that the comic book industry, primarily right now in its current form, lives to support those who supported them, which is the brick and mortar stores, and they can't just push out a whole bunch of new stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole thing. It's not just about the people working, because a lot of the art, the
They
creators,
work from home, yeah.
they can work from home. It's
That's-
about the industry. It's about the support system. Doing this validates those calling for them to scrap the actual, books and go straight, and that would be a quicker death for that.
Which even now they can't even make physical books, right?
Well,
Like
that's
factories aren't allowed to go to, or most factories, if they're non-essential factories,
Yeah, unless they're
allowed to go to work.
essentials.
Yeah, to actually make stuff. That's why a lot of footwear industry is pretty fucked too. Like most industries right now are pretty fucked because like if it relies on factories creating stuff, then that's not happening. So like
I
I
mean-
think like 80% of footwear companies are having furloughs and are just laying people off.
Oh, dude.
This goes right back to the conversation we just had like 2 seconds ago, where I went out and my family is buying physical books, but Tank is reading it on Kindle. Literally, it's the same conversation, because there are a lot of authors who are producing books, but they were finished like last month or the month before, and they're just now getting released, but they've been done. New authors aren't putting out new books because those factories aren't open, but those books are still coming out. But I like what Naru said about the comic book stores, because those are almost like bookstores will be around for a long time. Like Barnes and Noble, like that stuff, it's a more common thing. But with a comic book store, for those people who play like mobile games or like gotcha, like what is it, free to play games,
Oh, yeah.
they have like minnows and whales. Minnows will spend like $5 maybe over the course of the time they have the game, and the whale spends hundreds of dollars.
Yep.
But that's kind of what I feel about like a comic book store. Like I might be the minnow, Naru might be the minnow, spend a couple dollars here and there. But then you have people like Travis who go in and he does not like reading digital, and he'll buy hundreds of dollars a week
Oof.
just in comics.
Yeah.
But those people can't get their comics. The comic book stores, the owners will go out of business. I think it's kind of a sad circle.
For sure.
But-
I mean, the whole thing is sad, right? Like, because for sure, comic books is like something close to our hearts. Everybody here is like part of that culture, I guess, of like not just comic books, obviously, but comic book stores are associated with all of like nerdish things.
Right.
They sell card games, they sell
Yeah.
board games,
Yeah, so, like,
manga,
no
stuff
matter
like that.
what it is, like those types of stores, it's super sad to think that everything will just be like Amazon, or like even if
Like-
you look at Wizards of the Coast, everything is pivoted, right?
So
Yeah.
They had a
Well,
new,
like-
they had a new launch coming out, and they're not going to be able to print all those cards. They're not going to
Yeah.
be able to get them packaged and all that shit. So they're pivoting hard on Magic the Gathering Arena right now.
Oh,
Where
yeah.
Friday Night Magic every week is now it's free to play on Magic the Gathering Arena for Friday Night Magic, where it's like play any card you want because we want more people to just get on.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, and it's interesting because there's an author I read whose name is Will Wright. He did these really cool kind of Huawei inspired novels, very Asian martial arts inspired. But he's a self-published author, so like you can buy physical copies of his books, but I think he doesn't like go to a publisher. So he releases a book every 6 months. He has like 2 series that he
Right.
writes, and so he flips back and forth between the series. But kind of listening and seeing some of his posts, I imagine the bulk of what he makes is off digital sales, just because he doesn't have like a publisher pushing physical copies out to like Barnes and Noble. It's him doing his own promotions, saying, "Hey, go get my stuff on Kindle."
Which that's definitely going to exist,
right?
In everything,
right?
Even comic books, there are comics that are straight to digital.
Yeah.
That specific comic book isn't gonna. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know.
Yeah.
But they're not gonna feel as big of a difficulty as, say, like something like Captain America or Superman or something that has these people tied to the series from when they were kids, way back before digital even existed.
Right.
People like Travis that still only buy like paper comics. Kids now, I don't know what, because I'm not in the industry obviously, so I don't know like if kids now, there are probably some that are still like, I have to have the actual comic book, and then there are probably some that are like, everything I do is on a tablet, so I don't care, I can just get it.
So like for me, and Naru, I want you to speak your piece after, but for me, I get all of my comics on Comixology. But when I read something on Comixology that I love, or a cover that I love, I'll buy the physical comic, but I have to go to a brick and mortar to get that. So it's like I use a brick and mortar, and that's why I say I'm like in the minnows, where it's like I'll go and I'll spend like $20 when I go, but I only go like maybe once every 6 months. Naru, what is your experience with like the brick and mortar versus digital?
Every time I'm in the brick and mortar, I spend almost $100, like $50 to $100, which is why I don't go to. But
so easy, dude. You just keep grabbing things.
I mean,
wait, let me look at this.
Oh my god! Oh god! Next thing you know, you're like, so where do I hide these so that she doesn't see them? But
right?
Yeah. So that's one of the reasons why digital kind of works for me, because then I can just buy stuff. So I like Comixology. I'll get some stuff
easier
from
to
there.
hide.
Doesn't watch the show, by the way. So there is that, and then there's also, you guys know this. I'm not gonna hide it. I feel like I've missed out on years of comic books. So one of the things I usually do when I get into a comic book store is if I pick, like, I'll go back and try to see if I can find like collections and groups of chunks of stuff that contain compendium of stories. Or I'll just go online and find some place where I can read it. Like each time I want to buy stuff though, like I'll want to spend a lot of money, and I just feel guilty because being from Nigeria, I almost always know somebody at some point who reaches out with something that honestly $30 will solve or $80 will solve. And it's just feels, I always feel guilty spending money on comic books when I could just do that. So I almost always do this. Like I'll do something for somebody with little money, and then that's how I get, and I'll treat myself to reading comic books online through one of these.
I mean, that's part of it, right? Like, no matter, like, everybody's like does some, or not everybody, I guess, but when you do some good in the world, you need to treat yourself. And if that's something like that, like giving yourself,
I meant doing it illegally. I'm like getting it from one of the pirate sites. Like, well, you guys are missing my money. I did give it to somebody for a good cause. I'm reading this illegally, so I'm kind of trying to balance the scales a little bit. You know, one of the pantheons in the comics doesn't reach out and grab me one day like, yo. You know how you go online and the guys who scan in the back to go like, make sure you buy this comic. I'm like, I just read it. Why would I buy it?
I think I'm one of the very few people who still, like doesn't like shopping online. Like I still hate shopping online.
Oh, dude.
I'm like one of the few people I think in the world still. But like I don't have an Amazon Prime. If I ever try to buy something on it, Jason knows how often I do it because I try to use his Amazon Prime. There's probably like once a year. I'm like, yo, can I use your Prime to like buy this thing?
Christmas.
No. Let's be as clear as water in Florida, okay? You only use mine once a year to buy Alex something because the person you live with uses Amazon Prime.
Yeah, she does. She uses Amazon
So
Prime.
she uses the shit out of it.
Yeah, she orders. So like, yeah, like she orders like one of my medications on Amazon Prime.
Really?
Like,
You can do that?
I use it. Yeah, or if not if it's like prescribed. Like, The doctor prescribed it, but I don't have to have his like signature to go pick it up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I have to.
Okay, because I'm like, what?
No.
That's
It's
cool.
he prescribed it over the counter medication.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
But yeah, so I use it like second degree of like she buys stuff and I use the stuff
Second
she
hand.
buys. But I like if I want something, I still try. I for some reason I want to go to a store to buy it. Like I've been trying to get wireless headphones for a long time, and all the time I'm like, yo, can we go to Best Buy so I can like go look at? Because I want to like look at it, I want to feel it, I want to touch it, and everything I want to.
Yes.
In shoes I see
opinion.
online that I'm like, these are so sick, and I'm like, yo, do you got time to go to the employee store today? Because I want to go like look at these shoes, just see if I can pick them up, and I can get them in like 2-day shipping or something online as an employee. But I'm still like, I just want to go to the store so I can try it on. I can like look at it. I don't trust stuff, and everybody's like, you can just buy like 3 sizes and send the 2 that don't fit back.
That's too much.
I'm like, no, I'm not.
That's
gonna
too much work.
No.
That is so weird. I never thought of that.
People do that. They'll buy multiple sizes and stuff. They don't know their size.
They'll spend $300, buy the 3 shoes, and then send it back and get a. Man, America's.
Yeah, get the refund. Like refund.
America.
It's because I was just thinking the same thing because we found a secondhand bookstore called Second and Charles, like, and I've been going
Follow them on
there for a while.
Instagram, everybody. Second and Charles.
Yeah.
Follow them on. Only go on our Instagram because they're dope.
So-
I bought you a Christmas present at Second and
From
Charles.
Second and Charles.
Nice.
Yeah, remember I told you Christmas Eve I got in a fight with that guy in the parking lot.
Oh yeah.
It was that one. That looked
Nice. So I'm like, we go there and I find Robert Ludlum books so Robert Ludlum wrote the Bourne series,
Oh, okay.
Bourne Identity, Bourne Supremacy. These books are like super thick and like classics. And you can pick them up for like $4, like the hardback books. So we go there, but then I found now that you can get them on Amazon, like pretty cheap, like secondhand. But it's that like hunt, right? Like you go out, you find. So it's the mental capacity of like the hunter gatherer, right? Like if you have the hunter mentality, it's like I want to go find it, I want it in my hand, I want to get it myself. But if you're a gatherer, you're just like, it doesn't matter, it gets here.
I use people like you to get what I want. Like I
hunter
build I build a
gatherer.
pit and put spikes in the bottom, and I just make you chase the thing so that it falls in the pit, and then I can just go get it.
Like that's the hunter gatherer
problem solved.
like split.
Yeah.
Right? Like the hunter mindset is like I need to go hunt it and I need to find it and
Yeah.
get it in my hands and see it. But the gatherer is like I can order it
Yep,
and it'll be
100%.
here.
With
Like,
the
it doesn't matter to me.
with very few exceptions, usually things that I wear, like my watch, like smartwatch. I went and made sure that like the sizing of it was kind of weird or whatever. I don't buy a lot of clothing online, but pretty much anything else, like I said, all my books I get digital. Any kind of other technology, like I'm
the opposite.
Yeah.
For my
I'm the
clothes.
opposite. Like for clothes, I'm a very simple person. I feel like with clothes, so like I know I like the 511s and I know what size I like, so that's all I buy. I have
Oh,
the
yeah.
same pair of pants in like 3 colors. I got like 3 pairs of pants. I don't know
Yeah.
what I mean. Like, I know what I like, so then it's
Yeah.
like, okay, I got this size in what I like, so I know I can just buy that again.
I buy T-shirts and jeans.
I don't buy clothes a lot.
Like,
though.
I don't either.
I wear the same
So,
shit for a super long
let's-
time. But like
let's bring it
shoes
back.
and stuff like that, like
Let's bring it
That's-
back to like a nerd thing, right? If you were buying dice, would you buy them online or would you
or you
buy
gotta
them
feel
in
that
person?
dirt. You gotta feel
I
that
paid
dirt. You
I
gotta
paid
feel that-
$100 for a Kickstarter, and they sent me 4 sets of dice that I
Exactly.
never touched.
See, but
No.
that's the
See,
difference.
I walked up and I said, if I roll a 20, I'm walking away with it. And Justin was like, okay. And I rolled a 20, and I was like, fuck, there goes $100. And that's how I got these
that's
stone
perfect,
dice over
though.
here.
That's perfect. You each spent
And then you never
$100.
rolled a 20 again.
Yeah,
spent
I do sometimes.
But it was 2 different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
got more.
It's 2 different. Yeah, Tank got way more than me.
Oh yeah. Well, mine are like just like the basic.
But
But
plastic,
my shits are bloodstone.
Oh yeah. See now these.
They're etched.
So
blood.
it's not just comics that are affected by this. It's also all of the movies, television shows.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's like Princess Mononoke. We bought it as like a physical copy, and we were talking about that too because after we watched that, Alex was on Amazon Prime, I think. That was
It's
weird
on
how I
one of
said
the
it.
streaming
It's because I was looking at her, kind of asking her a question of if it was Amazon Prime. Yeah, it was Amazon Prime. You can pay like $20 or maybe not even that, and get almost a whole like Studio Ghibli. It was more than that, maybe like $50, but you can get all of them on like Prime.
digital.
Yeah.
Yeah, digital on Prime.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Should I buy this so we can just watch it all?" And I was like, "I mean, I would love to watch it. Like that's cool." But then we were sitting there and we were like, "Should we get physical copies or should we just get the digital copy?" Which now I already have like a shit ton of physical copy movies over there. So we also were thinking about it like we are running out of space for like DVDs
See,
or whatever, or
I mean,
Blu-ray or whatever it is. But
I have like
is
two.
that one where it's worth it?
the way I am with digital, I'm even more so with movies because I have Chromecasts in every. I mean, I only have 2 TVs in the house, but they both have Chromecasts on them, and I always have my phone on me, and so I always can get to either Prime, Netflix, Hulu, Plex, like whatever I have, and I can get all my movies, and I don't have to like go find the DVD or find a Blu-ray player.
I got like one place where I put DVDs.
Yeah, dude.
No, I'm
Going
like,
to find, I just walk
like if I
right
want to like buy it,
We
but it's
have
like
8 rooms of this house.
You kind of lost us when you said fine. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm
no, like if I like go to the store, like oh man, I really want to watch like John Wick 3. Like it just came out on Blu-ray, and I really want to watch it. And you have to go to the store, hope they
But
still have a
see,
copy.
Those aren't the movies I'm trying to buy.
Even the old movies.
Those are the ones I buy.
Even more
I'm
so
not-
the
I'm
old
not
movies.
Buying like, oh, John Wick looks like a cool movie. I'm gonna go buy it. No, I would watch that for sure on Netflix or whenever it comes out. It's the
I
stuff
own
that
it.
are like that are special, like her,
Like John Wick.
like the Matrix. I got Matrix over there.
I mean, I own. I actually, it's funny. I
I
was
got
cleaning,
Dragon Ball Z season 1 over there.
oh nice. I was actually cleaning my office. I was cleaning my office the other day. I have a whole nother box set of The Matrix in my office, and I know there's 2 more sets we bought The Matrix, and then we found a box set that had all 3. I think it's like I have like 3 physical copies of The Matrix.
Bro, at one point in my life, I had 4 copies of the Boondock Saints.
Nice, yeah, I do own that one too. But
I
like,
have
Only the first one.
and all that to the so. And the last point on this, I own 3.5 or 3 full copies of the Matrix trilogy.
You own 3.5 copies.
Of the trilogy. Like I think I own the first one 3 times, and I own the other 2 twice. I was sitting on the couch the other day, and I still ended up streaming it on Netflix because I didn't feel like getting up and putting it in the Blu-ray player because it's on Netflix.
Lazy.
Yeah, because it's so much simpler. It's so much.
Jason, I don't really categorize myself as a hunter. Maybe I am. I guess.
The mindset is hunter, though.
I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is.
got a question.
Yeah, dude.
So, to what extent do you think that whole mindset is affected by stability? Like, Tank is stable. Like, Tank will go.
Oh, for
buy,
sure.
Hold, keep. Like when I used to have some stuff I was stockpiling back in Nigeria. Then I moved. You can't take a lot of that with you. That's a lot of weight, right? And you want to pack stuff because you're taking a lot of things that you really want to, think is important at that time. So I know I gave a lot of things away, and I still have a whole lot of stuff that's just sitting in my parents' house somewhere, and I probably won't see for another 5 years. I don't know when I'm thinking of coming back. My point being, when I showed up here, it just lent itself that mindset of, okay, I don't know, I haven't bought a house yet. So a lot of things haven't really settled in my mind. So you end up just buying everything digital because that just makes sense. I can access.
Because you can move it with you.
Yeah, I can. It's always with me. Like I could go.
I think it depends on what it is and how much you value that thing.
I agree, but
I have a device that I got in the 2nd grade
yeah.
that I've moved with me across the country like 5
So
times.
what
I
is
have-
that, right?
I got some books. I got some dog-eared books I came with. But trust me, dude, when you're packing your family, there's a lot of stuff you're gonna take with you.
I literally have my iPad always an arm's distance away from me.
Yeah.
Like it's got movies, it's got comics, it's got regular books, it's got my work, it's got everything, right?
Right.
So I can move that with me at all times. But I think like it goes a lot with what Brandon's saying is like not just it depends on like that, but it also depends on where you're at in life, right? and the sentimental value of it, because Robert Ludlum, I would never in my life ever buy his books digital. He is my favorite author, hands down. But I would never buy them digital because I feel like that's doing him a disservice, because he wrote everything by hand, and then it was transferred and then typed, and then like
He wrote
so
it
there's
by
like
hand?
yeah, he would write it down and then they would type it and do everything, but he would study these things and put so much into it. And it's like, oh yeah, if I scroll like a website, now I'm comparing, not, you know, and if you like reading like a website, whatever,
Okay,
but if I'm scrolling like a website, now I'm comparing him to the guy that just wrote for TMZ.
Okay, now
So it's like, okay, now I need these pages. I want to hold the book. I want to hold it, but it's got sentimental value to me. But Tank might want to look at the same book and go, I'll just buy this on Kindle and scroll and love it.
Yeah.
That
But
is some
it's
emotional
the
blackmail right there.
personalities.
Good one, man. Nice. You got me now. Now I'm thinking I'll never buy a Robert Ludlum book on Kindle.
I will.
Like,
not.
seriously, I never knew he hand wrote all those books, because I know the amount of
I was
research.
explaining to somebody, Robert Ludlum is the most like amazing writer I've ever, because people don't know this,
Son of a
but
gun should have learned to type. Some
he
of
would
it.
travel and stay there.
Yeah.
Like I was reading today, he's in Rome for one scene in Rome. And he's like, oh yeah, you know, the police picked up this, you know, they're on the car, blah, 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 because I passed a police station here. And I was like, you know what, let me Google that. I Googled it. The police station is exactly where he said, right on the cross street of what he said. And it was right, like, you could almost go through the Google map and do the entire route of what the guy did in half a chapter. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy is a beast when it comes to writing. Like, it's just and that's just one book of like his 20 something books he wrote.
Yeah.
But I digress. I think that
Now
one
we
positive
digress.
thing we can all agree on, I digest. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but anyway, the one positive thing is these movies, right? Like Brandon and I just said we watched Onward, and
Yeah.
Tank watched Onward too. That just came out in theaters. I also watched Jumanji. Like my kids wanted to watch Jumanji.
The first
So
or
we
the
rented
second one?
that. The second one.
Yeah.
Okay, the third one.
The
whatever.
third. I know what you mean.
Technically the third one.
Technically,
second
you're
one
right.
in the series.
The second rock one.
Yes.
Yeah, Rock Part 2.
Yeah.
But that just came out. Like all these movies that are coming out straight to. What are y'all's thoughts on that as a final thing? Like, because that's something that America has to deal with now. So, what are y'all's thoughts on that?
So, this is kind of funny. Everything I'm about to spit in the face of everything I just said. The movie theater is the one place that I do.
We are so flip flop.
I know. The movie theater is the one place I do. No, that's not to say. And again, this is before I can't.
Defend yourself.
I can't get it anywhere else,
Get
right?
on
This
the
is.
fence, Tank. Climb
That's
up.
fine. No, I'm on the other side of it now. I'm just.
This is step stool. Get up
I
on
do.
the
It's a big ass step stool for my little ass.
Get on that fence.
The movie theater is the one place that I do go and partake, and I don't do like, I mean, I still, once it's out of theaters, like I don't care, but like seeing it at least one time in theaters. I went and I saw The Matrix in theaters for my birthday last year, and that was fucking incredible. But
Put a pin in that. Put a pin in that.
That one.
No, The Matrix, Endgame, like all of these. Put a pin in those. Onward. What did you think about watching that at home?
I mean, I thought
Taking your
so.
kids-
The fact that I can't go to the theater, I think it's really cool that these movies that just released in theaters, they went ahead and they put Frozen 2 onto Disney Plus quicker. Onward went to Disney Plus, but it sucks.
That were released are coming out. It's like $20 to rent.
But then movies that they can basically head off in time, like Mulan, is getting pushed. So we don't get to see Mulan at all until the theaters come back out.
Right.
So it's kind of a double-edged sword. Yeah, we get to see some of them because they're like, fuck, we've got to make some money back on these. But then there's some that it's like, no, we're still far enough ahead of it that we know people will go see it when they're allowed out of
Also,
their house
Disney
again.
is a titan, and they know Mulan's gonna make tons of money.
Oh, a shit ton of money.
Like any Marvel movie, that's why those got pushed.
Oh, absolutely.
Like my kids are excited about Trolls World Tour. Like
I just found out today that comes. I guess they're putting that where we can rent it this weekend.
That's
Brandon,
troll.
what are your thoughts?
So I'm almost to the level of where Tank is. There's certain movies that I want to watch in theater, like Joker. If Joker came out and went straight to streaming, I would probably not have watched it until it went to the theater. So I
was
could go
mad. I went and saw it in theaters.
Well, you're the 1%.
Different folks.
That's fine.
You're a gatherer.
1% of
come on.
America. all the awards disagree with.
That's fine.
But regardless, like stuff like, I'm stoked on it overall because the movies that I'm like I would go watch this in theaters are getting pushed, so I can go see them in theaters still. The movies that I'm like I want to see this, but I probably wouldn't have seen it in theaters, like Onward.
Yep.
Like I was hyped on Onward when we went to Disney. Like it was all over the place.
Oh,
I was
really?
like I was super hyped on it. Still not hyped enough to go watch it in theaters.
Yeah.
Like, there are very few movies I watch in theaters, anyways.
That's kind of the
It's
opposite.
usually like Star Wars movies, fucking
Marvel movies.
Big
Marvel
blockbusters.
movies, like massive movies that are
Yeah.
actually gonna be different when they're on a big screen.
Yeah.
I feel like Onward probably wouldn't be that much different on a big screen.
No.
Stuff like that. I like my favorite movie. I never saw it in theaters, so it has nothing to do with.
I finally
if
got
like
to.
it. Huh?
I finally got to when I got to go see The Matrix in theaters. That was.
I mean, I don't think 500 Days of Summer will ever be put in theaters.
yeah.
Maybe like some small like mom
Little,
and pop
like-
theater where they do like.
Nor the Green Street Hooligans.
Yeah.
That'll never be in theaters.
Oh, you should watch. There's a Netflix documentary that's kind of about hooligans.
I thought you were gonna say watch the second one. I was like, dude, no. No.
Anyways, yeah. So like, not saying that I only like movies that I get to watch in theaters because that would be false. But it has to have a certain amount of like production value for me to be like, it would be better seeing it in theaters than just watching it at home.
Overall, because I know that we're all gonna say like, oh, we want to see this in theaters. Overall, what are your thoughts on them just putting it out? Like,
I'll say I'm good with them putting out the stuff that they're putting out and pushing back what they're pushing back. I think they're making good decisions based on my personal like what I want to see and how I want to see it. I wasn't gonna watch Onward until it came out.
What if moving forward this was the norm, where you can see it in theaters, but you can also pay $20 to rent it at home?
I would
Would
see.
you be okay with that, or
I
you be
would.
upset?
I would pay to see way more movies if that was an option, because there are plenty of
Okay,
movies
that
that
I
I
think
would.
that's the right way to word that question.
There are plenty of movies that I would pay the $20 to go to, like Fandango or AMC.com or whatever, to rent it and watch it at home, that I would not spend the $35-$40 it takes to go see it in theaters. And I am a theater guy, but there are certain
what
movies
about the
that
ones where you only want to see it. It's like, oh, $20 at home, or maybe just my wife and I would go and it would cost us $12 on a Tuesday.
See, if I'm going to the movie theater, I'm going to the big comfy seats. It's gonna cost me $40 in tickets and popcorn. It doesn't matter what I'm going to see. So that's just the way I go to the movies now. So if there are movies, it's either I'm either spending $40 at the big comfy seats, or if it's a movie that's like, I'll wait for it to come out on digital. If it's already on digital, I'll go ahead and pay a little bit more than like a normal digital rental fee to go ahead and watch it early.
What do you think
What about
of
you,
with your AMC happy seats?
Yeah.
It's a little different for you, right?
Yeah.
Compared
Oh
to
yeah,
you.
Naru
I
had
don't-
that.
I don't
Naru,
have
tell us
shit.
your thoughts.
Yeah.
First of all, you can barely get me out of my house to go to theaters unless the theater is next door. I love AMC's. Dolby Cinema is really cool. That's the only reason why I still have them, because they're further away than the Regal Cinema for me. Having said that, the second I get a bomb-ass home theater, you can pack everything and release it. I do not care. Like, I was literally, you guys were talking, I'm looking here thinking,
How can I run the speakers in the ceiling? Yep.
speakers there. hang. This might work actually. This might be it.
Just get you a wireless setup.
So yeah, Listen, I'm 100% down with being able to watch stuff in my own space. I don't have to go see it in theaters, partially because my vision isn't that great. So half the time, a lot of the stuff that's really powerful about the quality of some of these movies, I miss some of it, in theaters. So I don't appreciate it as much. Secondly, since my hearing, the issue in September with my hearing is only like 20-30% back or something, a lot of things are just dialing down, in terms of, oh, this is great, that used to be whatever it was. So I'll tell you straight up, if I
Fascinating. I love that stand.
Yeah, that was a good stand. It was probably the best one he's ever made.
Absolutely.
You think he's actually froze, or you think he's just fucking with us?
Yeah, no, I think he's actually froze. He's literally in the middle of a sentence.
It's like kind of got a little motion blur to it.
Right. He was definitely in the middle of a sentence. Well, his shit.
Everyone do the Naru.
Just the.
Wait, Brandon, we gotta do it right.
Yeah.
Am I looking the right way or the wrong way?
Are we looking the right way, Tang?
Brandon is. Jason, you're not.
Fucker. I'll give my 2 cents. That don't mean
while
a lot.
we wait for Naru.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, like
he just
Tank said,
completely
I think he's
dropped
gonna
off.
quit and come back on. Like Tank said, I think this is a way to get people like me to spend more money to see movies, but then it's gonna hurt the theaters in the long run, because people like Naru will stop using the A-lister stuff, because let's be honest, theaters are going down anyway, except for the huge blockbusters, Marvel, Star Wars, basically Disney. Disney will run all movie theaters, but like the huge blockbusters for the theaters, like The Matrix and
But
stuff
that's
like that.
always been the case, though, hasn't it?
No, people still go see, like, someone is going to go see Trolls World Tour. Had it not been for this, somebody was going to go to the theater to watch that.
Right.
Yeah, or Onward.
Oh, you mean like right now?
Right.
The weird thing for me, thinking about going forward, which isn't necessarily a me thing, is how it affects the
Industry?
artists and the people. Yeah, the people behind it. Like, because if you think about music, when music made the shift to being streaming, or a lot of it streaming, you can still buy stuff. Big albums come out, they release records, cassettes, all that stuff. But streaming became this weird thing of how do you quantify that? Because looking at like most bought album, it was like, okay, that's a weird thing, because you have people who are the most listened to artist, hands down, but they were more listened on streaming, like millions over anybody else. But other people just released a CD, and that's the only way you could have listened to it, because they wouldn't give to any streaming. This was a couple years ago.
Like Jay-Z and Beyonce wouldn't do that for a long time.
Yeah, and then they opened their own streaming thing so they could control their.
And then it failed.
Yeah, because Kanye is a large part of that. But like Chance the Rapper is who I was actually referring to. Yeah, Kanye was a fuck in that deal. But Chance the Rapper is who I was referring to, because at the time, he was releasing all of his stuff straight to streaming.
Yeah,
and then he would never get voted for anything, even though he was the most popular artist out, and everybody was putting him on their songs and all this stuff. He was like, when they look at going platinum, his big thing was trying to go platinum. He was like, you have to sell X amount of records to go platinum.
Right.
He's like, I sold 10 times that many in streaming, and people who've downloaded my stuff and people who own my stuff. But how they were calculating how to go platinum was like, you got a very small percentage was counted for when someone downloaded your album on a streaming service.
Right.
And he was like, yeah, I should have went platinum. That was his first platinum record, I think is what he was talking about. It was like, I should have went platinum a long time ago.
Yeah.
But how they calculate that. So that's what I would be more, not concerned, but like intrigued by in the future, of like, okay, the people whose, not necessarily salaries, but the people who are looking at this of like, okay, it needs to be a box office hit, it needs to do XYZ. rise of this type of stuff and things going, it's like when things started going direct to VHS or direct to DVD. It's like,
now, well, it already
look
is.
at that stuff of like, oh, it went direct to DVD. It's probably trash. Like no one watched Aladdin 17 Return of the Bad Guy or whatever. Yeah, whatever. No one watched that, right? Because
I watched
it was a
I've seen it
direct to
several
VHS.
times.
It was a direct whatever, and everybody's like, oh, it's probably bad if it went direct to VHS, unless it was an Olsen Twins movie.
It's true.
But
It was
like,
the only ones anyone ever watched that was direct to VHS.
there's a much larger conversation that we don't want to get into tonight about, because now the shift is straight to streaming services, but there are also these like super high budget movies that are specifically Netflix. So that's a whole different conversation.
Netflix,
Right.
Amazon Video. Both
Right.
of them.
That's
Amazon and Netflix are
Change
paying
that
for
conversation.
Right.
I agree with Brandon about that. Like seriously, the world. I don't know that we're really prepared, or I don't know that the decision makers in these things are really seeing around the corner on this in terms of what's possible and where this.
They're looking at right now and how to get through this virus thing, but once you start doing stuff and people start expecting things,
Yeah.
then you're opening a whole new can of worms.
That's why I wanted to touch on it, because I know we've all used it, right? Like, okay, we want to see this, but it was in theaters. But Jumanji, right? I was like, it's been in theaters for a while. It was for rent, like for $6 or something like that. And I was like, you know what? I'll just pay $6. Like, it's fine. They just got a ticket out of me, and I would have never paid for it.
Yep.
Ever.
Right.
I would have waited until it went to streaming, or I never would have watched it ever.
Dude, I could have gone to see it for free. I just couldn't be bothered to drive over there.
But see, that's another thing, right? Like, even when this is all done, let's say it released same time, and my girls are here and they want to watch something. It's like, you guys want to watch Jumanji? I'll pay $6. I don't have to get in the car. You guys can watch it on the TV, and I can go in the office. Like,
You can watch it 3 times in 2 days.
yeah, I'm just like, whatever, just watch it.
I think it's very smart, because studios have to know to some degree whether or not they think it is going to succeed in theaters. And
I don't know. Look at all the Fantastic Four movies.
Bro, I'm still waiting for my good one, okay?
Look,
Here's the thing. Certain movies that are going to become massive global event movies cannot go direct to streaming.
no, and those won't ever. But
No,
it's
I'm actually what you said. Like, they have to know. When they know it's going to be a big hit,
right.
they can get each, like 4 of us going to theaters means 4 tickets. 4 of us in the same house as roommates watching it is 1 ticket. So they know the math. The math doesn't play out as well as in theaters. That's just the truth.
But if you have a movie like Jumanji 2, where you're not doing, I didn't see a fraction of the promotion for Jumanji 2 that I did Jumanji 1.
Yeah.
And like, if you're not gonna push it like that, but they know people like us, like, oh, I'll pay $10 to rent it, but I'm not gonna pay.
Let's take it and go exactly where Trolls World Tour is promoting that they're going
Right.
straight to digital. They're promoting it. Now, let's play devil's advocate. I'm going to play Naru's hand. If I've got 2 kids, Tank has 2 kids, Naru has 2 kids, that's 6 tickets. If only one parent, that's 9 tickets.
Yeah.
If only one parent took it. Now, if I went to go see Trolls World Tour, you best believe I'm dragging my wife with me, because that's fucking torture, and I'm not going to do it by myself. So that's
I
4
like the
tickets
first
from
Trolls.
my household, okay? Rather than just renting it, right? But to jump back on the other side of the fence,
Cheaper to buy it too.
yeah, on the other side of the fence, mean parents like Naru will say, well, we're just not going to go. But if it's for rent for $15, Naru might let his kids watch Trolls.
Oh, I will.
Naru's kids, if you watch this, tell your dad that you want to.
If you watch this, I want to know why you're watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, why
By
are
the
you
way,
watching this
Tank,
shit?
guess how much Jumanji 2 made?
How much?
Jumanji 2's global box office was $754 million.
What?
Yes. On a budget of $125 million.
Do what, Brandon?
The Rock went a lot of times.
Yeah.
No, actually, so like I think they're
Wow.
hitting their target audience because my oldest daughter is like, I can't wait for Jumanji 3 to come out, and then like Kelsey's parents were talking to us because they watched the original, the second, whatever, the first Rock one, and they were like, "Oh, did you guys enjoy it?" I was like, "I hated that movie. Like that was garbage.
I thought
like
it was funny.
I love the movie. It was fun. I just didn't go.
I do not think it's fun. I think
Because
Robin
we're
Williams.
of the
I was
age
pleasantly
group,
surprised.
we're of the age group that grew up with the original.
Yeah.
The original is fun.
Naru
Like
was
the board
already like.
game. I don't want to
30
know
when the
damn
original
video
came
game.
out.
I mean, I saw the original. I loved
That
it.
movie made me feel like a relic. When they're like, "Ooh, what an old game!" I was like, "Bitch, that's a Sega Genesis." What the fuck you know? Like,
Anyway, but
the
seriously,
reason the game don't work, blow it out.
whatever it's gonna take to make that, like, do you see now why they wouldn't just like they wouldn't send that direct to digital if they didn't have to, because they know the global box office on that. Worst case scenario, they make 250 million on top of everything.
Right.
Right.
I mean,
It might end up, and this I could see this being the norm moving forward, and I actually think it's pretty smart. Do you guys remember dollar movies?
Once upon
Where
a
you
time.
could pay $1 and see a movie after it had been
After it
in
was in
theaters
theater.
for like 2 months?
Yeah.
What if that
Oh
was
yeah,
the
I
new
remember
streaming?
dollar movies. Maybe you and I were the only ones who went to the dollar movie. but
Maybe we're the
We-
only
we
broke
have-
ones. In the
That's
group.
when. That's where we saw Mummy. We saw Mummy in
Yeah.
dollar.
Nice.
So
really?
what
Get
if
Rich or
it-
Die Trying. I saw in dollar movie.
it went to theaters, right,
Yeah.
for the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks or whatever, where the real box office money is
Right.
for the first 2 or 3 weeks. Then it goes to streaming,
Shifted to-
$15 for streaming. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, we can definitely watch Trolls World Tour. It's just going to be 3 weeks after,
Yeah.
It comes out.
and then we'll just rent it at the house.
We rented The Purge. That shit is nowhere near new.
That
I
was
just
a
wanted to see
waste.
what the future was gonna be.
Dude, you wasted your fucking money, bro.
Say something about the date. What was the
The
date?
whole time I was like, man, this family's just dumb as shit.
Why would you let them in? Why would you let him in?
Hell nah. Fucking Zombieland, that bitch.
All of it.
Oh, that's another one I didn't go see. Even
I
though
mean, neither.
wanted,
I still-
wanted to go see that. I wanted to go see that a lot.
Double tap?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I
Oh,
did.
yeah. They
Zombieland.
call it getting Bill Murrayed.
Bill
All right,
fucking Murray.
So this episode has gone on forever, and I'm sure we could keep going because it's just so much to talk about with this industry and what's going on. But I think we're just gonna cap it here, and we'll pick up next week because I'm sure we're all gonna be in the same fucking place. Hey, Tank, tell them where to find you, buddy.
Yeah, you guys can find me all over the internet at The Caped Critic. Make sure you check out our Dungeons and Dragons show, Dungeons and Day Drinkers. The next episode goes out, if you're watching this live, it goes up tomorrow. If you're not watching this live, it went up on Wednesday. So make sure you guys go check out that show. We put a lot of time and work into that show, and we have a lot of fun over there. So
And we have new stuff coming.
For the record, Tank puts a lot of time and effort into that.
No, we have new stuff coming to like our social media stuff.
Oh yeah. Sorry, I thought you meant the thing that we talked about today.
No,
I'm
no,
like,
no,
fucking,
no,
I hadn't even like
Not today. The
started
stuff we
that.
already have in the works.
Okay, cool. I'm like, yo, you killing me, bro. Like, don't tell him that yet.
Social media stuff? What are you talking about?
Fucking what the? Yeah,
Social media
Yes.
stuff. Brandon's gonna be busy.
I have no clue what you're talking about.
the homeboy's doing for us that you found.
Oh yeah, I got you.
So yeah, Brandon, in your state of loss, just hold on to that. Naru, tell them where to find you, buddy.
You can find me at Naru, the Nerd Guru, or at my house, address being none of your business.
Yeah.
Find me on Twitter and Instagram. Let's talk about some fun stuff that's happening online, especially if you're doing one of the watch parties. I've been doing some of those. Like I'll watch a movie with the cast online and tweet. So see me there.
All right, you guys can find me at Houdini0333 on Instagram and the old tweet machine. I've been more active on Twitter lately.
And by that he means he sent 2 tweets in the last.
I was
week.
about to say,
I've
like, I
sent
didn't
4.
I didn't know there was no
Tweets that I've ever sent in my life.
I sent 4-ish. I'm probably gonna be on there. Yeah, I think there are accident. I butt tweeted.
I think so. Yeah.
Anyway, you guys can find me there. And Brandon, tell them where to find you, buddy.
Look, everybody, just stay inside, stay home. Don't go on dates. Don't go on dating apps. However,
Guy who has a girl with him.
However,
However.
find me on Quarantine Together, the dating app.
they have to spend 13 days apart first.
Yeah.
That's 14th day is
Then
magical.
they can quarantine together.
B Miller 45.
That's so funny.
Quarantine. Is that how you and Alex met? Quarantine?
Yeah, no, we didn't even live together. I lived down the hall, and we were like, "Oh, you're real close. That's next door. We can just quarantine in the same place."
Let's just break this. Let's break this wall down.
Yeah, we can
Two
just
bedroom.
stay in the apartment together for 14 days. Either both of us have it or both of us don't. And we'll see where it goes. From there.
I'll tell you what. I'm in the world's longest game of escape the fucking room.
Yeah.
So if you know where these damn keys are,
Yo.
I'm stuck in here with the same people the last 3 weeks. It's getting crazy. Hey, you can find all of us at TheNerdsFromWork.com. You can follow us on social media on Instagram and the old tweet machine at NerdsFromWork. You can find us on YouTube, SoundCloud, and iTunes at The Nerds From Work. Hey, from all of us here at the workplace, peace.